Speaker, busy day at the Capitol. Colleagues, I'd like to extend courtesies of the House to representatives of the Portland Timbers Major League Soccer organization. Joining us on the side aisle today are Mike Golub, Chief Operating Officer for the Timbers, and Timber Joey, the official team mascot. Up in the gallery are several members of the Timbers Army, the most rabid soccer fans in the country. Mike Golub has served as COO over the past year and oversees the day-to-day operations of the soccer club, including marketing, sponsorship, promotion, and ticket sales. Mike and his team have worked tirelessly, along with team owner Merritt Paulson, to get everything up to Major League standards for the team's inaugural home game tomorrow evening against the Chicago Fire. Timber Joey, free of costume, big feet, and cartoon-like gimmicks, is the Timbers mascot and is a true outdoorsman. With his chainsaw almost always in tow, the state police asked him to check his chainsaw at the House chamber doors today. Joey Weber, known by fans as Timber Joey, will help create a one-of-a-kind atmosphere at Gerald Field. And up in the gallery, several members of the Timbers Army are here today. The Army has been proudly supporting its team since 2001 through singing, chanting, and cheering at Timber games, and has put Portland on the map as Soccer City, USA. You are Timbers Army, you are mental, and you are barmy, a true supporter forevermore. Thank you all for joining us today, and we're excited to cheer on the Timbers in the inaugural MLS season. And colleagues, you will hear from me again in a few moments on this subject.
This went blank. Question now arises, upon third reading and adoption of HCR 24. Representative Wingard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, starting tomorrow, the state of Oregon and the city of Portland will have two Major League franchises. So we're here today voting on this resolution to welcome that second franchise, the Portland Timbers, who will graduate from second-tier soccer to among the elite in North America and become the newest club in Major League Soccer. I want to talk a little bit about this. It's a great public-private investment in Oregon, $30 million in public funds, $65 million in private funds to renovate the stadium and purchase the team. $35 million of private funds for purchase of the team itself, and $30 million to renovate the stadium. This has produced over 1,000 construction jobs in renovating the stadium. As of today, the entire 2011 season ticket allotment is sold out, 12,500 seats out of a 22,000-seat stadium. Less than 500 seats still available for every home game for this season. This team will have national TV exposure and be televised on ESPN2. They have managed to put together a great assortment of corporate sponsorships, including Gerald, the stadium sponsor, Alaska Airlines, which is the jersey sponsor, KeyBank, Adidas, PGE, Burgerville, Providence, and Woodmere Brothers. Colleagues, I'm pleased to be joined by my colleague from the heart and soul of Washington County, who is clearly a strong Timbers fan. My own association with this team goes back to it originally coming to Oregon in 1975. By the time I was about, I'm going to do the math here real quickly, 5 years old, the Timbers were owned by a group of Portland businessmen that included my grandfather, Bill Gatch, Don Pollock, and others. My mother worked for the GM, Kent Kramer. At that time, the league was called the North American Soccer League and was comprised of mostly European, African, Asian, South American, and Canadian players, although every team was required by rule to have at least one North American player. For those of you who were around and enjoyed the Timbers at that time, they included players named Jim Conway, Clive Charles, Willie Anderson, Mickey Poole, who was the goalie, Clyde Best, the Gant brothers, Graham Day, and many more. I remember as a young child being taken to those games, and the players would all come out with a signed soccer ball, and they would ring the stadium and then kick the soccer ball up, and if you were lucky enough, as my father was one day, to catch that ball, that was a prized heirloom to walk out with. Later that year, the team was sold, and about a year or so later, it collapsed. But they have come back. Jimmy Conway became the soccer coach at Willamette. You may remember that. And of course, Clive Charles, took over coaching at the University of Portland, eventually taking the women's team to the national championships. Thank you. appreciate you being here to help me at all times. It's wonderful that you're sitting away from your desk here, Representative. Colleagues, that's my best. I appreciate your vote on this and welcoming the Portland Timbers soccer franchise to Portland. Go Timbers.
Further discussion, Representative Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, our good friend from Wilsonville Sherwood, I think adequately summed up all the reasons to vote for this measure. So all I can add is, goal! I urge an aye vote.
Further discussion? Representative Schaffler.
Only say, Mr. Speaker, I wish we were cutting some timber with this bill as well as supporting the timbers.
Further discussion? Seeing none, Representative Wingard, do you wish to close? He does not. Those of the opinion that the resolution should be adopted will vote aye. Those opposed, no. The clerk will open the voting system. Representative Jefferson Smith, how do you vote? He votes aye. HCR 24, having received the constitutional majority, is declared adopted. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 5552 relating to state financial administration appropriate